Hello and welcome to a new vlog. This is the weekly vlog from Monday the 15th of May. I just wrapped up like a second ago my last week's vlog. Last week's reading went fine, but like in theory I want to read like much more than I did, at least like 1.5 book more. But we are catching that up this week. It's all gonna be good. So last week I did not finish The Borrowed by Chan Woo-Kei. This one I am now on page 254 of. I was supposed to finish it yesterday. Actually, I wanted to finish it the day before that, but we don't need to think about that. So obviously, I'm going to try to finish this today. It is a bit slow, much slower than I thought it would, and it is very interesting. It is set in Hong Kong, and it follows this detective, and it's many short stories that I thought we didn't connect like with the cases. I thought they were all like have to do with each other, like the cases themselves, because it's like a thriller mystery thingy, because it's we follow a police detective, but it's actually more about like his life kind of, and many small cases, but like they're really interesting. So like the first one we kind of have the detective dying, like he is at the end of his life, and the next case we like follow another case and like his under subordinate dude, and like as we go back in time he's like that under subordinate has like a less and less role. Sorry, I can see a spider, a tiny, I think it might be Dad's spider right in front of me. It was very distracting. We like started out in like 2013, and then we went to 2005, and then we went to the 90s, and then I think the next story starts in the 80s. It says 90, 89, so all the way in the end of the 80s. Just see kind of development of like his under subordinate, but I think he shouldn't be there now in this story because we went so far back. It's really like interesting like way of telling a story, and all the different cases are really interesting, and we kind of like set up a mystery, and then we're just like wow, how, and then they go through the case in the really like pro Scooby-Doo style, where they're just like, it happened like this and this and this and this and this, and you're just like, and it's just really well written, because it's like obviously it's written to set up that they can solve this, but obviously we don't know this, so like the author writes smart, and I know obviously a lot of thriller and mystery writers write like this. I don't think it's done as well. I don't think it is so well thought through that sometimes, you know, when you get to the like answers to the mystery, you're just like, well, really? But here it is just so well done, and I'm just really enjoying every story. Really curious to see like who done it, you know. And it's not always, by the way, a like murder mystery necessarily. It is different, very different cases from each other, so I think it's very interesting. I'm just really enjoying it. I'm actually really surprised of how much I'm liking it. I thought I would like it, but I didn't think I would be disengaged in it. And then I'm reading it very slow because like it's a lot of names, etc., obviously, because it's different cases. I wanted to finish it yesterday, but I just didn't manage, so it's fine. But like I'm excited to finish it today. I will do it. It's fine. I have my next read here as well, which is still Liyana's Ward. I want to say I want to finish this not today. It's almost 500 pages long, but I want to say that in my head, this should have been read today because I'm behind. I know it's not gonna happen, but if I could read like 100 or 200 pages in this, it would be great, because then I can finish it tomorrow and then like slowly catch up with what I missed last week. I have a lot of days off this week, jinxing it, because I was literally asked to work today, and I was just like, I don't have the mental capacity, because then I would have to leave like an hour after like being asked, and I'm like, it's not gonna happen. I work really less this week, so hopefully I will have time to, I was gonna say, read through stuff. I thought this was much tinier than it seemed, because again, it doesn't look big, but I guess they are literally both 500 pages, and they literally like look the same, so I don't know. I will try to start early on this for today, but we should see if I manage to, because I want to do some other stuff as well. I'm really just enjoying The Borrowed, even though I feel like, first of all, I can't even say The Borrowed. The Borrowed. It sounds like I'm saying The Borrowed. Borrowed. Yes, that's better. I feel like I didn't expect it that well, but I'm excited to continue. I'm gonna go and edit last week's vlog, and you should see me live. So it is much later. I didn't bring my camera in at Erica's, but I did finished The Borrowed. I don't know why I'm saying it like barrow. It's borrow. Either way, I finished it. Wrong way. And it was really good. I think it was two stories there that I didn't really care for at all. Like, they were boring. But the ones that were exciting were so good. Like, at that point, I was just like, is this a 5-star read? Because they were literally, they captured me and my attention so hard. I was in awe. It was really good. Like, some of the mysteries, I love how they were solved. I love, like, the Poirot / God, that shelf is not secure. Sherlock Holmes feel we had to it, and I just really enjoyed it. It's a 4 out of 5 star read. I'm really glad I picked it up. I was kind of at a whim because I didn't know what to pick up for prompts. It was like for a thriller prompt for my TBR game, even though I had another book for it. But it ended up being this one, and I have no regrets at all. I'm really glad I read it and managed to experience this read, so I'm very happy. I always love branching out a bit and like finding new stuff and like maybe like in a genre I don't read as much, etc. I enjoy apparently like, because I read now not many, but like the thriller sex mystery police drama books I read that are like translated from, I read one from Japan, or like 2 from Japan maybe, and this one now, and this is not from Japan obviously, and I enjoyed it much more like than the style like that like is Norwegian, Nordic Noir kind of crime novels. Like I really don't like those, because I read like some Swedish ones, Danish ones, Norwegian ones. Don't like the style of those at all. I hate them. This apparently I can get behind on, so yay. But yeah, really strong, 4 out of 5 star. Then I had a goal, as I said earlier, to read 200 pages in the Liyana Sword. I was about to call it the Jasmine Throne, and this is the sequel to the Jasmine Throne, and I don't know if you know what it's about, but it's basically set in this kingdom where people can get this rot that basically, it is as you say, you kind of rot. It's kind of the vibes like in Last of Us, but not completely. I think you basically die. I don't remember exactly, but like, yeah, it's bad. And then we kind of like magic is kind of lost in this world, but then we kind of are discovering it in a way. It's kind of like old magic, and I think there's like one kingdom, there's several kingdoms, but one kingdom is kind of like, I was gonna say, pushed magic back a lot, and people look really like badly upon like those people that come from magic and stuff like that. And then we have 2 main characters, and one of them, she is like kind of the, like I was gonna say, a lover in the society. She's from like the people that used to practice magic as well, and then she becomes the handmaiden of like the crown princess. Actually not the crown princess, I think she's just a princess, but she's a princess that is for some reason kind of locked up in a way in the first one, and they also fall in love. It is a FF lesbian story. It's her handmaiden, and they kind of like maybe need to help this princess escape, but also the main character that comes from magic also have her own story, so then they interconnect. Yeah, so that's kind of the vibe, I guess. It's also inspired, I think, a bit about like Indian mythology, if I remember correctly. So yeah, that is basically the vibes we have. I really enjoyed the first one. I really like seeing building a relationship, as we saw. Obviously I can't talk super much about this one, but it is the second one in a trilogy, and I'm feeling a bit like second book vibes, where like we're setting up a lot of conflicts, meeting a lot of people, talking about a lot of things, but you know nothing is going to be concluded in this one because it is the second book. So it's a kind of bit like frustration where like, of course you need a second book to develop the story, but at the same time the second book is not going to surprise you and shock you and like give the things you want, because it's the second book in the story. It's like okay so far. I'm not like loving it, I'm not dying for it, but I'm enjoying the characters. I'm enjoying to see the world together. I think the thing I'm enjoying the most about it, like overall, is like the magic system. I think it's very fascinating, and seeing it develop and seeing like the kind of the myths and legends of the world coming alive. And a lot of people like have like prejudices I can't say that word, prejudices I just can't speak English, you know, towards them, and it's just interesting to see like how this is conducted and like built up and like the history behind it. That's what I really enjoy about the story. But I actually managed, I thought I was going to read 200 pages, but I managed to read 206. I went on sprints with my patrons, like keeping accountable. I really need to read, and I managed to get to 206. I think I'm good at even finish this tonight, but it is soon 1 a.m. and I actually want to sleep. I am just really happy I managed to get so far, so I will hopefully, for sure, finish it tomorrow, then catch up. I'm supposed to read a manga after that, but I might start another book and stuff. Yeah, I will tell you tomorrow how it goes, but that is how the reading went today. And you should see me tomorrow when I'm not dead anymore. I'm not as dead, just a tiny bit dead, but not completely dead. Hello! So it is now the next morning, and I'm itching. I'm always itching somewhere, apparently. And I did finish now this morning the Liyana Sword. I sat down and I've just been reading all morning. I took a shower and I read. So I really didn't need to do anything else this morning. I decided I'm gonna do stuff tomorrow, build a shelf and stuff, but not today. And I actually ended up really enjoying it. I think it had like a lot of like mid-book syndrome, definitely. And like the first like I think parts of the book weren't that interesting, and I think that some of the point of views I have forgotten who they are, because we get like some short chapters with like not the 2 main girls, and I'm like, who are you? Do I care about you? I don't know actually, But like other than that, it was fine. I think that the relationship between girls, I really like them together. I really like can see why they like each other, and I like the development of like what happened in the end, because obviously everything happened in the end. So like with the princess, with I don't know her name, Malini, and then with like Priya's developments, they were like pointing directions I would say that I didn't like quite predict, but obviously I knew it wasn't going to be like happy hoo now because there's a third book. But I also feel like I don't know what's now gonna happen in the third book. Like I have like an inkling of like what's gonna happen, like I was gonna say with a relationship, and I assume in my mind I have a certain ending in mind, so I assume that's where it's gonna go in the end. But it would be interesting to see if it didn't go that way. But like the journey to get there, I'm not sure about. So I think it's interesting now what the author did here. And I definitely think like the ending was really like, really makes you want to read the third book. So I think the author did a good job with that. And I ended up like enjoying it more than I like felt yesterday. Like the last 200 pages was more engaging. And I think I'm giving it like a 3.5, rounding it up to 4 stars. So I'm happy about that. And it's just a really cool magic system, I think, and like an interesting world with these characters. I liked the development with like, what to say, the main story in this one, where I felt like we were just going to be stuck in this thing forever, and then we weren't. I don't want to say more because it's kind of spoilery, but I'm really glad about that, so that's why I'm very curious about the third book. Since I did finish the Liyana Sword, I am supposed to read a manga, because now I read 3 full of books. I read Permanent Record, The Borrowed, again, I cannot say the word, and Liyana Sword. My next manga is to read To Your Eternity, Volume 4 by Yoshiteru Oima. And To Your Eternity is, if you don't know, it follows this orb that can turn into, I was gonna say living things. The orb is alive, but like it's literally an orb. And they turn into like a wolf, a human, etc. And goes around basically discovering the world, because they don't really know how to take care of themselves. It's like they turn into human, they keep like dying over and over of starvation because they don't know what they're supposed to eat. And there's also someone after them for the power, so it's a bit like we don't know what's going on there. And it's like a really long series as well. I'm only in volume 4 and I think it's like over 22 volumes out or something. But yeah, it's very interesting and like unique, and I think again, really like about life is beautiful and stuff, but at the same time having action storyline as well. And it's kind of funny too, because obviously it's sad that they keep dying, but it's like it's funny because it's like, oh my god, they keep like shitting their pants because they don't know they're supposed to go to the toilet, etc. Because they don't know how to be alive in a way. So it's, you know, learning about living in a way. So I think hopefully I will read this before I need to go to work, because I want to read on the subway, and then I don't want to read a manga because like, yeah. So if I don't get to read this before, I'll read this when I get home and start my physical read. My full-length read is a better word, and that is Cafe con Leche by Emery Lee. This one is the second book released by the author, and I don't actually know enough about it. I think it's something to do with a cafe, and these two people started to like each other. It's like a contemporary romance thing. And like, I like Meet Cute Diary, but I also had a lot of issues with it as well. It's a book that I feel like other people enjoyed, really hyped up, but like I just had some issues with it. But like, it was an okay book. I gave it like 3 stars. So this one, I hope I like better than that one, because I just like thought some things in the other one was a bit weird. It's only 311 pages and the text is huge compared to the Mary books that I read last week. So hopefully I will finish this whole thing today. That is the goal, or else I will be sad. This was supposed to kind of in my head be finished yesterday, so I don't even count that. If I can finish these 2, I will be fine. We'll give a better synopsis of this later when I actually started this. And then we shall see what goes on in this one. It's a really interesting series, but obviously since I have my wear system, I use ages picking up the next ones. Happy about this. As I said, went not exactly where I thought it would go, so I'm happy. And now I'm gonna go and maybe eat some food because I'm starving. I've just been reading all morning. Hello. So I did read, I'm getting it, To Your Eternity, Volume 4, and I'm going to work really soon. And it was really sad. I kind of cried a bit. I didn't expect it. It actually, like, we skipped 4 years, and then sad things happened, and now another weird thing happened. I'm like, what? I'm so vague because I can't tell you. But I'm excited to continue. It was sad though. And why is this story sad? I don't know. But I finished it. Very good. Very fun. It's like 19 volumes out. And it's still ongoing. So I will be there for a while. But yeah, gonna go to work really soon. So see you later. Okay, so I'm home. It is later. I have worked and I started my book. So thoughts for Cafe con Leche. It's about two main characters that both have parents that have like kind of a store slash cafes where they sell like foreign food, and then it's not going that well because it came up like this new cafe that like sells foreign food, but like it's fused together with lots of other stuff, and it's going super well because it looks fancy. And then they need to like kind of collab to try to save their parents' store for different reasons, etc. So far I've almost halfway now and I'm gonna finish it tonight, but I'm not really liking it because the characters are so weird. I really, like, at first they blended very much together. I forgot who was who. But I want for characters are just very rude and dislikable. And it's like, I like to read about douchebag characters, but there's just something about, like, not having any empathy for this character for me. It takes me out of the story. And I felt exact same thing in Me Cute Diary, where, like, I really disliked the main character. Like, he pissed me off. Now I'm feeling the same vibe from this main character. One of them, Theo. Pissing me off. I'm just like, why are you so rude? Why are you like this? But like, I get it. Like, people are different. People can be rude. People can be whatever they want. But it's just something about like how he just goes on my every nerve, which makes the books very unenjoyable right now. Like, the enjoyment is very low. And like, it's not even video funny or anything. It's just kind of there. So I'm not really enjoying myself. They are both gay, so I assume they will get a thing. And I'm just like, I don't want it. Like, the other main character, Gabby, he's like so sweet, has like anxiety and he's so sweet. And I'm just like, you deserve better, dude. But also at the same time, like, I don't really care about you. So do whatever you want. So I'm not really enjoying it. I now just like, maybe Emily is just maybe not an author for me. Because like, there's stuff in the books that is just like not vibing with me. In this Meet Cute Diary. Either way, I did also receive a package today, which I thought I would open. It is from Book Depository, I think. Very nice, sweet angle. Let's see. I think it's a manga. It feels like a manga. It looks like a manga. What can it be? It is a manga. It is Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 17. And if you remember, last week I bought Volume 18 at the sale. So now I have 17 and 18. Actually, again, don't remember if 19 is out. But yeah, very excited. And then I know I said last week that I was going to wait until my birthday to buy more books, but then I went and bought more books today. So, okay, judge me, whatever. I bought the first Moomin book, that like the official books. Like, there's of course many adaptations of them, like children pictures books, other like adapted, like collected stories of them that are not like directly the words, but like the inspired stories, etc. But I wanted like the actual books that Tove Jansson wrote. And Tove Jansson was Finnish, but she spoke Swedish and wrote in Swedish. So I decided to buy the books in Norwegian because Norwegian and Swedish is very similar. So in translation, I feel like that is good. But also I grew up with Moomin, so I feel like it would be weird to read like the names, etc. in English because they are completely different in English and I won't remember who was who because I grew up with the Norwegian names. But yeah, this is the first one. It is like the flood thing. I don't actually know the English title at all. But yeah, this one doesn't match the other editions. But I really obviously want to start with the first one. It is very small. The other ones are a bit bigger. And I really want to start to read like through all the actual Moomin books. Because I never read those. I just like saw the TV show and like read like small like children versions of the stories, etc. And I love Moomin so much. So I'm very excited. And then the hype got to me. Everyone talked about Fort Wing this week. So I saw that we had gotten it in, and I bought the only copy we had, by Rebecca Yarros. It is a fantasy romance thing. Everyone is speaking about it right now. I just got it. I don't know when I will read it, but I knew I wanted it eventually, so I just went ahead and bought it today because I knew we gotten it in. And I was like, well, let's just go, I guess. I seen everyone raving about it, giving it 5 stars. I was very heavily influenced to buy this by seeing people talk about it. And that's all that's going on. I will update you when I finished Cafe con Leche, however we said that word. I have again forgotten. You should see me later. Yay! So I finished Cafe con Leche and I almost cried. Like, after a while, Theo grew on me, okay? Like, again, he was just a bit snarky. It's fine. He was just being very asshole-y in the beginning to his parents, and I didn't like it. But it's like, he's a teenager, it's okay. And now, like, how the parents like developed. The parents in this story had more character development than any of the other characters. and everyone just had like some drama and life was stressful, and then everything turned out okay, and I was just like, aw. And some of the parents' moments were so sweet in the end, and I'm a really weak person for parental moments. I just am. I don't know why. It's just always like it. And then I almost cried, and then everyone turned just very sweet to each other, and I was like, okay. So I ended up really liking it more, I guess. I still had like a weird vibey feeling in the beginning, but like it passed, and then I ended up actually enjoying how everything came together, and I'm like, what? So yeah, I was gonna give it a 2 star. When I talked to you at the beginning, I thought I would give it 2 stars. But now it is a 3, I think. Because the majority was very low at first. But now I was like, my heart. So yeah, I managed to catch up, I guess. Kinda. I was behind, but I don't think I am anymore. We're reading another book tomorrow. You just see me done. Yay! Okay, hello. It is the next morning, and I have started my next book because I'm building a bookshelf, but I need help for something, and no one is awake. So, yay! It is the 17th of May as well. So happy birthday, Norway, or whatever you do to celebrate. I'm doing nothing. I'm just building my bookshelf, washing clothes. I'm just treating this almost like any other day, even though we have some 17th of May food. Either way, I started my next book, which is The Bone Shard Emperor by Andrew Stewart. This is the second book in the Bone Shard trilogy. I think that's what it's called. And I read the first book for Facing Gaze when it was released. When was that again? What year was it? 2019. When was this released? Oh, that was my timer. Add a timer on in case I read too long, because I'm gonna go and eat. How was this released? Maybe I could check. Oh, the series is actually called The Drowning Empire for some reason. This was released in 2021. So probably 2020, that's when I read the first book. I actually don't remember that much from it, but it was like, it was a fine fantasy. I think I gave it 3 stars. Might have rounded it up to 4, but it basically is about this empire that is very suppressed. It suppresses people for a long time. I think the emperor has like the power to control everyone in the empire through the bones, and he also has like these 7 like bone structures that like goes around and like what's it called, soldiers to people, and like keeps an eye on them, etc., and like protects them. And then we have the daughter, which is the first one is called the Bone Shard daughter of him, like the emperor's daughter. She like is going through some tests in the first book, and he's like testing her to see if she's ready for like either more bone magic or take over the throne or whatever. And then we also have another point of view of like the smuggler that helps smuggling children in Empire so that they won't be controlled by the shards, because that happens when they were kids, I think. And then we have 2 group point of views that kind of have like their own, I was going to say almost like rebellion thing going on, and they are together, so it's like an African romance. And I think we also had another point of view in the first book that kind of like is very vague and weird and kind of connects with the other ones. So you should read that to find out. And here we have continuing the story. Obviously, I won't talk that much about this because it's kind of spoiler for the first book. But yeah, that is kind of the vibe for the story. I think the concept in it is very cool, and like I like the magic and the world, and like the characters are fine. I just thought that like it was a bit boring. Like the plot was just amazing, and like the twists weren't that great. I enjoyed it enough, but I didn't love it. I think I felt like totally fine by it. I am still going to continue the trilogy. I have this, and I have the final book as well. This is a bit over 500 pages, but it's a very quick read, so I would try to finish it today. I think I can, since I have, you know, the day off, etc. And I don't really have any specific plans, so I think I should just try to read that. I put you in an awkward angle because I'm gonna go and eat and stuff, so you should see me later. But yeah, I am 100 pages in so far. I think I forgot to say. I am like totally fine with it. Like I'm trying to remember what actually happened in the first book, but like I think like I have like the vague idea, so it's fine. And like I'm not uninterested in it. Like I think it's fine so far. So I'm curious to see how it ends up. I know a lot of people didn't love the second book. That's a very second book syndrome, but I'm used to that, so it's fine. So I am excited to finally continue. And I'm reading this for an animal companion for my TBR game, because it has like animals in it that are definitely their companions, so it fits very well. So that is thoughts, I guess, so far. Hopefully I'll finish it today. We shall see. So I'm stupid, because if I just read a bit earlier today, I would have finished the book, but I managed to read to 408. As you can see, this is how much I have left. Oh, you can't see that, the light is very bad. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see where my bookmark is. I'm struggling. Either way. And it says if I read for 36 more minutes, I will finish the book. But I'm like, no, I'm going to bed. I kind of knew I wasn't going to finish it today because I watched Criminal Minds instead. I was in a certain mood. It was the 17th of May. So I felt like relaxing, but I still read a lot anyway. I'm having Patient Prince tomorrow, so I know I'm going to finish it plus something else. So it's all good. I will probably finish that tomorrow in the first sprint. Then start another book that I will probably finish as well, because I know that is very short. So yeah, I'm all good actually. I forgot sprints was the thing where I actually read more. Yay! What do I think of the Bone Shard Emperor at page 408? So it's like, I think 615 pages maybe? I don't actually remember. But it's something like that. I mean 516. Yeah, it's not 600, sorry. And I'm just kind of bored. Nothing has really happened. We just a lot of talking, a lot of traveling. There's small like tidbits of like, I was gonna say information of the world and getting to know like the characters better and like them getting to know each other and developing their relationships. But at the same time, I'm just like, this is it. I remember in the first one, I felt like a bit disjointed of like the point of views and like how all came together, but when they came together it was really cool. So I'm betting like the reveals will be all at the end, like in the last one, and then they will like of course be done in the next one. But I just really enjoyed the magic and the world is very cool and the characters are like okay. But I just feel like, for example, some of the reveals that we got in the end of the last one didn't actually play that big of like a role in this one. I was really surprised because we kind of left it there where we got some really huge reveals about the different characters. And I was like, oh my god, like pissing my pants. And then we go into this one and it's just like they've forgotten or like it doesn't matter. Like they barely talked about some of it. And I'm like, so we went through all of that in book 1, and then we're not even gonna like mention it in book 2, so what was the point, you know? It's like when we found out who Jon Snow's parents is in Game of Thrones, but then it didn't actually have any meaning. So it feels a bit like that right now, and I'm just like, well, then what was the point? But like, I'm not hating it or anything like that, it's fine. I said I really do enjoy the world. I just felt like it needs a bit more guts, it needs a bit more, not spice as in sexual scenes, but spice as in like, it needs to be a bit more gripping for me to like love it completely, because now I'm just feeling totally okay. I'm just like, this is a fine book with a very cool magic system, but sadly it's not doing enough with it for me to feel fully engaged in the story. But we shall see for the last 100 and something 100 pages, 110 pages or something. Oh, that's so stupid that I'm not just finishing the book. But I thought for sure it was 600 pages. So what am I just lying to myself? No, it's just 545. Okay, it's like almost 550 pages. So, but yeah, I'm very tired, so I'm going to bed. I guess that is some thoughts. That's what I'm feeling. I'm not feeling like woohoo. I'm not feeling like I hate it either. It's like a 3-star, lower 3-star maybe. So I think maybe went up on 3 depending a bit. So we shall see. But yeah, I had a nice day. I even read some. I watched some Criminal Minds, which was amazing. It actually made my gut hurt. So like, maybe it's not amazing. Maybe it's just traumatizing. I built 2 bookshelves that I haven't even shown you in this video, and I'm like waiting for the reveal, I guess. So I'm like done with building all my shelves, my new shelves, and it's gonna be really great when I'm finished with the reshelving, etc. So yeah, I had a nice productive day, posted a vlog and stuff. You should see me tomorrow for however much I read on. Good night. Hello. So it is actually the next day, even though I look completely the same and I'm wearing the same clothes, but I am on sprints with my patrons. I finished the Bone Shard Emperor, and it was like okay, like it had a battle thing, things happened, but at the same time I feel like we just built up to the last book. But I mean, at the same time the first book also just built up to the second book, so it was enjoyable, a bit boring. Again, I really just like the magic system and like, I was gonna say the people and the world, but like the plot itself is really not that interesting right now. But yeah, I am giving it 3 out of 5 stars because I need like more of an engaging plot to like really, really love it. Now, my next book would be A Magic Steeped in Poison. I just took off the dust jacket, so I'm gonna start it now. Hopefully I finish it today. I don't know anything about this. I think it's something to do with like Chinese mythology. I believe it might be FF, and it seems really cool. Literally want to read this initially because of the beautiful cover, and I bought it and I never read it, but now I'm gonna read it now. Yay! So hopefully I will like that. We'll keep you updated, and I need to go and read because I'm on sprints and I want to read in the sprints. Yay! Hello. So it has been a day. I did end up reading all of Magic Steeped in Poison. I read it a bit like here and there in between doing other stuff. I've actually finished it. Like, I read most of it on sprints though. It was an okay book. I think it kind of has a very similar plotline to other Asian-inspired fantasy books. I'm not saying that is a bad thing. I'm just saying that then they thereby become very similar. So here we have a main character who goes and enters this kind of competition where you get a boon or like a favor from the princess if you win. It's kind of a tea competition. All has a lot to do with like potions and brewing. And she's doing this. She thinks the princess has like a magical stone that can cure any illness. And her sister's sick because she got poisoned and is like dying of this poison. And her mom also died of the same thing. Sorry, I'm stepping on something. And because of this, she thinks that she can get the stone to save her sister. I don't know, there was just something about the story that had to suspend some belief on some of the stuff, because obviously this princess was really high up in the system and there's like revolution and like rebellion brewing, but there was just something about like there's a certain thing that's revealed about the emperor and I don't understand what people thought about the emperor before this. That was a bit confusing. I guess they kind of were just like tricking or something, but when she found out this, then why did she still assume she would get this stone? I don't even know. It was just like a character just seemed so smart, so why was she so stupid to believe that this stone existed? Because clearly it was just a rumor, but I guess she was just hanging on by like a thread of like hope, I guess. But it's maybe like other ways to like, I was gonna say stop the poison thing. I don't know. The cover is stunning. It was not an FF romance. It's kind of a side FF, but not a main FF, I think. It seems like they were very close, but I don't know if they were actually together. Didn't care about like the political landscape that much. I feel like it wasn't built up enough for me to like care deeply about it. And I just felt like there were some complexities there that could have been explored more. But like I could definitely see it, but it just wasn't enough for me. It was kind of like, I was going to say like a swallow level of it. I think it was like still a beautiful book with woven in like mythology and etc. But I just thought, I think there were 2 books now where there's a tournament and they're going to win like a favor from like the emperor and stuff to like a kind of tournament, etc. in a Asian inspired fantasy. And it's just fun. I guess like it's very, because you know I read maybe some stories when I was a kid as well, but like I guess like it's a normal trope to like win the boom and then like win honor, etc. I'm not trying to generalize, hopefully, but like that's like the impression I'm getting. So it's just an interesting observation, but it makes them very similar to each other. But then it's like, oh, but there's so many other stories that are similar. That is true. But they also blend a bit together as well. Like they're all really similar to each other, so they also blend a bit together as well. I'm just saying that it makes the story harder to feel unique. I really fall in love with it because I feel like I read a very similar story before. And that happens also with other fantasies. If I read very similar stories, it's just like, this is just like all the other fantasies. But it's not terrible, you know? It's not a bad thing. It's a well-written book that I think was woven in beautifully with all the things that was happening. But I just didn't love it. I just didn't care enough to be like, oh my god, it's a new favorite, and like fall completely in love with it. So I think I ended up on like a 3-star. So like I liked it okay. I would recommend it. I would recommend it if you like this type of fantasy. Like The Girl Who Fell Below the Sea, Spin the Dawn, Daughter of the Moon Goddess, etc. But I enjoyed all of those a lot. There was just some like thing, like for example when I read Spin the Dawn, blew my mind away. It was just something about it that was just so magical and fun, and like, dang, that book is good. I really need to read a sequel. And here it didn't have that like extra spark that I really wanted that made me like completely fall in love with it. So yeah, it's like the same a bit because I read Daughter of the Moon Goddess this month. I really enjoyed that as well, but I also felt like I was missing that really like spark. So like lately when I think about like I enjoyed Spin the Dawn and like Six Crimson Cranes, both by Elizabeth Lim, like a lot. So just comparing like the emotions I had with those to these. Obviously, I'm not going to like sit here and compare every YA Asian inspired fantasy. That's not how it is. That's not how it works. But it's still like, you know, it's Asian realism. That's what we're doing. That's why we're here vlogging. It's just interesting, I guess, observations for me. I don't know if anyone else think it's interesting. Have I been in focus this whole time? I don't know. But I am supposed to read a manga now. And the manga I'm supposed to be reading is Girl from the Other Side, Volume 12. I actually thought I was done with this series because the main story is over. This is like side stories. But it's still called Volume 12. And I was like, well, I might as well just read it. And I think we actually go back and we get to be with before everything that happens. And it's really fun. I'm thinking I will read this maybe in bed now or tomorrow morning. I will talk a bit more about it then. It's very late, so I'm going to bed. I talked enough now. You should see me then and what else I'm reading tomorrow. Yay. Hello and good morning. It's the next very bright day, and oh god, something just fell on my glasses like dust. Very nice. Last night I did read The Girl from the Other Side, Volume 12, aka The Side Stories. So The Girl from the Other Side follows Shiva, who lives on the outside with a teacher, who is like this creature here. And they live in this world where humans are kind of haunted by this curse. So you get cursed, you turn into one of these creatures, and there's like the outside and the inside. So the humans are on the inside of this kind of area gates thing, and the creatures lives on the outside. And obviously the humans don't go out and interact with these creatures, but we have Shiva, who lives on the outside with one of these creatures, but don't really know why or how this came to happen. It's kind of like a mystery, but it's very like atmospheric and airy and just like beautiful, really like different art, for example, like this. And in this one we just have like short stories. This is kind of set before everything that went down in like the main series, which is quite frankly a bit sad. So this one kind of is to look back, I would say, on happy memories, and it was very sweet. This is like kind of the, I was going to see, cornerstone of the series of why people cared about it is the relationship between Shiva and the teacher, and I think that this one represented that very well, and it was really nice to look back on it. And it is, you know, a bit bittersweet and sad, but it was like a really nice volume, and like the whole series, you know, bases itself on their relationship. So it was like the perfectly like ending thing, and I really enjoyed it. I overall like enjoyed the series, even though I think it's weird and I'm not sure about the answers we got, but I still like enjoyed it overall for what it was. So that was the next manga. So now I need to read again 3 more books to read a manga. So actually I'm soon done with my whole TBR. That was enormous, even though, you know, I did cheat start in the end of April. So in theory I have 1, 2, 3, 4 books on my Asian readathon TBR, and then I have 1 book I need to read outside that. So that's not that much. We are only on the 19th, but still I will keep reading. I might want to squeeze in like some other books in the end. If Yellow Face, one of my editions, ever shows up, I really want to read that at once, so hopefully it will show up next week. It's Friday today, so probably next week if it shows up at all, who knows. But today I am thinking I will start the book that is actually for the challenge to read any book by an Asian author, and it is Silver and the Nightfall by Rin Chapeko. This one has pulled the vampires, I believe, and that's all I know about it. That's all I need to know about it. I have been very excited about it since it was released, and you know, I have it, so I should read it. I got it for Christmas, and yeah, very excited to see if I will even like this. I have enjoyed The Bone Witch a lot, and I did enjoy, what's it called, 100 Names for Magic? Is that what the series is called? What is the book called? Wicked As You Wish. It's right here. You can't see them. And I enjoyed that one as well. I haven't read a sequel for that yet, so I will see if I enjoy this. I am very curious about it. It is huge. It's like 500 pages. I'm not planning to finish this today because I am going to work and I'm going to the cinema, so I don't really have time, but I will try to read like maybe 100 to 200 pages in it and then see if I might finish it tomorrow. But tomorrow's my birthday, so I might not feel like reading that much. So if not, I will finish it on Sunday. I'm fine with just reading 1 more book for this week because I went beyond what my goal was anyway, like beyond. Yeah, I'm excited to see what I think about it. We read it without this jacket on. Oh, there's a random Heartstopper bookmark in it that probably came with the book. And yeah, let's see what this has. Hopefully I will like it. And that's all I got. So see you later. Hello! It is the next day. It is now my birthday. Last night we went out to watch Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And it's so late that my birthday struck midnight in the middle of a, what's it called, hill, and that we almost died in. But it's now in the morning. I forced Eric to wake up early with me because I'm allowed to. We're going out later to the bookstore and stuff, so I'm gonna film that. But we ordered Espresso House to deliver to our door because it's my birthday. It's like a Frappuccino, and then I have some chicken because I wanted chicken, so we went to the store, bought chicken, and have a donut that I'm gonna eat. And then I don't know, we're gonna watch something probably. I read some in Silver Nightfall yesterday, and I will talk about it later when I'm not eating, but like, I don't understand anything that's going on. Oh, I understand what's going on, but it's not good, I guess. It's fine. Okay, well, see you later. Erica is kissing on Gigi. They're having a full-out makeout session over there. Where's my makeup session? It's my birthday. I deserve to be made out with. Fine. So I am now home. I've been home a little while and I had to watch Don MSI and my team lost and I'm very sad. Because of course they had to lose on my birthday. Obviously everything in the world is about me. But yeah, we had a really cozy time out. It's only 8:45, so I don't really know what we're gonna do now. But I thought I would show you the books I bought today. Physically, I only bought 6 books. I thought I would buy much more. I feel like I bought more, but my brain... Wait! I did buy more! I bought 2 more! I knew there was something missing. I counted them. And I was like, wait, didn't I buy more? But I did buy more. I just forgotten. Because they were in another bag. Okay, well, I bought 8 books. And then I bought some online. And also last week there was a sale where I also bought more books. But none has arrived yet because it takes ages. Obviously they will arrive eventually. I'm just counting it all for my birthday. So it feels not that many books right now in this moment. But there's probably more in my head. And when they all arrive, I will be overwhelmed. So I thought I will go through which one I bought. So first we have The Murder of Roger, maybe? Not Roger. I said Rogue. That was like a bad, like, no English. Ackroyd. This is the 4th Poirot book. I have number 3 coming. Like, I already have read 1 and 2. And I have number 3 coming. That was one of the books I bought last week online. And then I thought, well, they had number 4, so I might as well get that. Because I want to continue these and read all of them eventually. Then there was a sale on this one, Tokyo Dreaming by Emeko Jean. This one, I read the first one, Tokyo Ever After. I think it was last year. And it was like a cute, like, thing where this girl finds out that she's the princess of Japan. There's a lot of glare on it. And it's like, it's not perfect book, but it was really cute and fun. So I knew I was going to read the sequel eventually. I had it. It was on sale, so I got it. The covers of these are very ugly. Like the US covers are much cuter. So I was excited to get that. Then I got Children of Time by Adrian Tchaikovsky. I know that's not how you pronounce that. But basically, I know this is a sci-fi. That's all I know. And I know that it is amazing. Everyone is like raving about it. I don't know if I've actually like it. Hopefully I will. But I basically just heard amazing things about it. I don't know, I was opening the book. I was going to check something, but I don't remember what. Basically, just heard amazing things about it. I was looking for it in like different stores. Not just in the stores we went to today, but other stores, other times. But no one had it. But now I found it today. So very excited to eventually start the series and read them. I'm really curious about them and I hope I will like them. Or else I would just be sad. Then I got The Grace of Kings by Ken Liu. This series, obviously, I heard amazing things about as well. The covers are stunning here. They are pictured below there. I like their full picture. I will obviously get all of them eventually. But I want to start with the first one and see if I will like it. Don't know, again, anything about the plots, but again, heard amazing things and very excited for it. Erica also, by the way, bought some of these books. But what else is new? Thank you, Erica. Either way. Then I got One Piece, Volume 1, 2, and 3, obviously collected in this because that is cheaper and it would take less space. I really want to start One Piece. I've been wanting to for a while. I've just been intimidated by the fact that it is so long and I know it would take me ages to get through them. Not because necessarily it would take me ages to read them when I sit down to read them, but it would just take ages to buy them and collect them and get through the whole series. And it's like, you know, a commitment. I really want to start and I have been curious about the series for a long time. I think I would really like it. And today, the cat just did something and it really scared me. I think I would really like it and I really want to read them. So I got the first one today on my birthday and I am excited to eventually start. Then Erica, this was one she forced upon me. That is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure by Hirohiko Araki. And this one is obviously another manga. It's a really long series. And I feel like I've seen the name, but I like don't know anything what it is about anything. Erica was just like, "You gonna read this?" And I was like, "Am I?" And she was like, "Yes." Kat, can you not? Don't lick the mic. Don't. What are you doing? Either way. So I guess I'm reading it now. The dude has purple stuff on him. And do I know anything about this? No. Do I want to read this? I guess now I have to. And they have like nice hardcover editions, but I feel like they're going to be expensive to buy all of them. This is also a really old series that's been running for like many years. It says here it started in 1986. I don't know the year One Piece started, but many years ago as well. So picking up some older mangas today and committing to really long series. I don't know what I feel about this because it's going to cost me a lot of money. But if I can't spend money on books, then what's the point of having money? So yeah, then I got 2 more. This is another manga that is Boys Run a Riot, Volume 4. So I will very soon read Volume 3, which means I need to buy Volume 4 anyway. And it was the same price online as in the store, so I just got it there. This is the last one in the series, I think, and it is very good. I think of the 2 I read so far. Just decided to pick it up, so I just have it ready. It's actually a short series and it's new. So like it's only 4 volumes compared to what the other with like 102 volumes or something. Then I got The Discord of Gods by Jen Lyons. This is the last one in A Course of Dragon series. I have 1 to 4 and I'm planning kind of to read the whole series this year, hopefully. So I wanted the 5th book to just complete my series. So I have them all ready. Yay! So that was the books I bought. Look at my little pile. It's not as many as I thought I would buy because I was going pretty like all out. But I was looking in the store and couldn't really find stuff I wanted in the first store where they had more books. Then we went to the tinier store and then I found so many more things I wanted. I was just, I guess, easier for my eyes to find things there. I am happy about my picks. Obviously, I have a lot of more books coming in general because that is me. Because there was a sale and stuff last week. I don't know what we're going to do now. Probably just chill and I might read some and stuff. I don't even know. I don't really feel like reading, so we shall see. But yeah, you shall see me later. I had a really nice day. Yay. Hello. So it's like the next day and it's like been a whole day. So it's like I'm going to bed. It's like over midnight. So it's like we moved over 21st and now it's like a second. Theory, this vlog should be over. I'm gonna wrap it up tomorrow morning. I didn't do anything all day. I just chilled. I listened to Dragon Reborn a lot. I think I haven't mentioned it in the vlog at all, but I started it, I think, like in the 2nd week and then I listened to like 2 hours, but now we listen to much more. I think I'm 5 hours in or something because obviously I need to read that for Wheel of Time Along, which is like unrelated to Asian Readathon, but I forgot to mention it. It is reading. I also have been listening to A Conjuring of Light, which was my audiobook in April, but I didn't finish it, so I have been listening to it a bit here and there in May, but I haven't mentioned that at all in my vlogs either because I forgot. But those are not Asian books, but I just want to finish that audiobook, and I've just been not in an audiobook mood by myself at all. So because of that, I just haven't been listening, and I used ages on Conjuring of Light to finish it. But I will mention those when I finish them. I will finish them both within this month, so within these vlogs at a point. But I did finish Silver Under Nightfall today. So that's what I've been doing, and then I watched MSI, and then I listened to Dragon More. That's what I've been doing all day. And I drove. And I ended up not really liking it at all. I'm very sad about it. It is initially like the thing that pulled me into the story is that it's Polar Vampires and it's written by Rin Chapeko. So we basically have this dude who's basically, was he a vampire hunter? He at least have killed vampires before and stuff, and they live in a vampire human and paranormal society-ish. And then he starts investigating because there's this that kind of virus that affects vampires, and they go a bit like, I was gonna say, ballistic. And then he also is investigating into his mom's murder because she died. And then he comes close to these two other vampires, and they enter a relationship, all three of them, and there is like plots upon plots. It's kind of like almost a detective story, but there's just something about it that is just telling, not showing. There was no, I didn't feel like I was being in a story. I just felt I was like watching people talk about the story in a way. I just really hated, to use a really strong word, how the story was represented and written. I feel like there was a good story in there, and there could be good world building in there, and stuff there was interesting, but there was nothing that hooked me in. I was actually very frustrated at how this was written. It was just, I was so hyped. I was so interested in the concept and like what Rin Chapeko could write with this, because they are a author that I have really enjoyed in the past, but this gave me nothing. I didn't feel anything for the characters. The plot twist didn't give me anything. The way, as I said, the story is represented and told, it gave me nothing, and I'm just so sad and disappointed. I feel like I have seen people really enjoy it, and I've read reviews of it where people really liked it. So I feel like, don't listen to me, go and check it out for yourself. But there's just something about how the story was written, it didn't work for me at all. And the story itself wasn't that interesting either. The concept, cool. I love vampires. I want to read more about cool polar relationships. I love Rin Chapeko. It had all the things that was supposed to be there for me, and it gave me nothing, and I am so disappointed. It's just something, as I said, about how it was written. Yeah, I think honestly I would give it like 2 stars. Just because literally I wasn't even enjoying myself. There's nothing about this story that pulled me in. And I feel like maybe it sounds very strict, but it's like, I can't even give it 3 stars, because 3 stars is like books I semi-enjoyed at least. But this one I just didn't even enjoy. The small parts that hooked me in, I will go to a 2.5. But I feel like rounding it down to 2 on like Goodreads, it's like where I will go. On Storygraph I will give it 2.5. And I'm very sad to say that, but like, I need to be honest, you know, of how I felt, and I didn't enjoy myself at all. And I can't believe I spent so much money, or I wished for this book actually. It was a present, but I can't believe I made someone spend this much money on me to buy this edition. And I would just wish I bought the UK paperback when I was out, but I was so hyped. But yeah, I'm not saying that I would never read from this author again. I will probably read a sequel to this because I need to know what's gonna happen. But overall, just like very disappointed and very upset. And I'm really sorry. I feel really bad saying that, but that's just how life is sometimes. I'm gonna go to bed and not think about this anymore, and I will wrap up whatever I read this week in the morning. Okay, so we are back to the place where I apparently start. I wrap up all my vlogs. This week went really good, I think. I read much more than last week, where I ended up falling behind. Look at this pile. I can't even get it up. Look at this. I read all these books, and I even had birthday. So I don't know how. But yeah, I finished The Borrowed, which, granted, I was like halfway in, but I still finished it this week, so it counts. There's a lot of glare, but it's okay. Then I read The Oleander Sword, which I did an extra set of sprints as well. That's why I read so much. That apparently really helps. Should do that more often instead of procrastinating my life. Then I read a manga, which, again, of course, just bumps up my reading, and it was really good. And I read Cafe con Leche. Yeah, it was an easy read. I'm trying to think, like, how I read, what I read on each day. The Board Chart Emperor. Did I read this over 1 day or 2 days? I feel like it was 2 days. I think I finished it in sprints the next day. That was what I did. Yes, it makes sense now. But I read most of it on 1 day. And then the next day I also finished this one. it totally makes sense. And then I read that in the night, and then I actually used 3 days on this, which means I used 4 days on all the other books because I read this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I'm apparently not okay, I think. 2 sets of sprints did that, apparently. Nice. I have sprints on this Thursday, I think. That's the day that it fits most in my life. I wanted to maybe do extra sprints Monday and Wednesday, but we shall see how I feel. Monday is today, so yeah. But yay, I feel good about this wish reading. I'm much ahead now because now I literally have like 3 books left on my TBR. 2 of them I can't read yet because it's for book clubs. I want to read them like the last days of the month. So I'm gonna actually pick out some on TBR now in the next vlog that I'm gonna start right after this. I'm just gonna say goodbye. Thank you so much for watching. The next one will be a bit longer because I want to like be until the end of May, and that ends I think on a Wednesday. So it will be like all, I was gonna say all screwed up, but it will be fine. But yeah, again, thank you so much for watching. You shall see me very soon in a new video, and goodbye.